Hi, and in this video I'm gonna show you how I coding, how I fixing things and so on. Today I'm gonna fix a couple of smaller issues which are not that big and complicated, because I think this is a good opportunity to introduce you slowly inside the world of programming. Basically what programming is just logical thinking. You're just thinking logical when it makes sense. It makes mostly sense inside programming as well, because it's just pure logic and shifting information from one place to another, calculating the informations, triggering hooks and so on. Basically in gaming, especially in this case, it's pretty much all just this. Let's join the server, which should be empty because it's night. The first problem is the Lasermine plugin. I'm gonna show you the bug. It's actually one bug and one mistake I did. I just forgot to include it inside the code because I didn't think about it, because I thought it was already here. The first problem is I'm buying faster Lasermine. I have no one Lasermine in my inventory, and if I press V, because I have the bind here, if I press V, I place the Lasermine. But when I'm a zombie, because I can't buy a Lasermine, that's what I wanted, but when I go at a wall and press V, you can see I can place the Lasermine. That's actually not what I wanted to do, so I just forgot this to include, but it's technical. I mean, you could count this as a bug. But this, no, the wheel bug comes. And the wheel bug is, and this is by the way working in almost all servers I've seen, it's basically if you are human and you press V, you can see that at the time when I press V, the code checks if I'm a human. If I'm a zombie, I can't anymore press and set a laser. However, when I press V, and while I place the Lasermine get a zombie, I can still place the Lasermine. This is because, now if you think logical, why can this happen? It can only happen if the code doesn't check the team of the creator of the Lasermine at the time of the actual creation. It just checks the team when he presses V. But when he presses V, there are still 3 seconds, about 3 seconds, where he could still die. So we have to add either a check during the bar all the time, so it keeps checking if he's a human, and if not, it breaks up, or we have to check right before the Lasermine gets set it, and if so, break this setup. Now I go inside the code. By the way, ignore these 9 errors. These are not actual errors, these are just pathfinding errors inside the Visual Studio Code. Now we have to find, first of all, we all aren't, I don't know, some magic people. We have to find which place of the code do we need. So I'm pressing Ctrl plus F, and I'm searching now for set laser. Okay, here we have here create Lasermine progress B. You can see it checks basically if the player is a survivor and sniper. If so, don't do this, and if the cover is enabled. If not, create Lasermine progress. So here, okay, I assuming here it sends the message for the bar. What you see when you place the Lasermine, you see like a orange bar slowly filling itself up. And what is this? Create check. Okay, here create check is basically like a bool function which returns true or false. I think this is a pretty good way to implement the check. Does it not already check the team? It should be. Where does it check for setting the Lasermine? If CP class survivor, so we have to add here if CP core is zombie ID. So if somebody is a zombie and you write CP core is zombie ID, then it returns, for example, let's say for example, yes, for it's a zombie. But if you put this, it just reverses the logic. So if you get it. So we add this, so this would already make that if somebody is not a human, he can already place the Lasermine. However, the second bug I showed you, after you place the Lasermine, and then you get while you already placed, so while this is triggered, you get a zombie, it still places the Lasermine, because as you can see, here, it just checks this and that's it. And you can see here a set task of spawn. So what I'm doing basically is I go to this spawn function, and yep, you can see that's basically what the Lasermine does. But you can see there is no check for if somebody is a zombie. What do we pass in the spawn? Okay, task plans Okay, so this is the ID, and here we simply say, okay, if it's a CP class survivor, get ID, or if it's a sniper ID, or if it's a CP core is zombie ID. If it's or one of this one, this means or, and this means and. If it's one of these three, it doesn't have to be all of these three because it's impossible. You can't be a survivor and sniper at the same time. But if it's one of these three, we simply return. Let's check. Does this? Okay, it's return plugin handled main. So we simply return as 0. Mostly 0 means early return. We compiled it. I got here and I go to output. I place my new Lasermine inside my folder, right? Replace. I'm restarting the server. I'm connecting again, and let's try to recreate the bug. Once again, I mentioned it's totally normal if you forget something, if you have to 10 times to restart the server. This is basically coding. This is coding. Like, this is coding. 90% is just solving problems. So I'm buying a Lasermine here, and I'm trying not to recreate the bug. And you see, it didn't work. Now the question is, does I still have the Lasermine? And you see, I still even have the Lasermine. Okay, that's good. Otherwise, we had to make this manually too. Let's try it again. Don't work. If you want, I can also show you it, which survivor. And you see, it doesn't work. So we fixed this. So I can write now in my changelog. I did this, by the way, before the recording. It's not that important. I can write fixed zombie Lasermine when you had Lasermine in your inventory as zombie. And I can also write fixed zombie Lasermine when you planting, and while you plant get infected, it gets to a zombie Lasermine. It's maybe not the best way to write. Fixed when you like this is better, so the players know, okay, it's fixed. So that's my to-do list. What could we do today? What is a big issue? This would be too complicated not to show this. So the problem basically is the users are not always aware of having a gas mask because you can see it. The people always are like, why he don't got died by a C-bomb and so on. So to make it more clean, we simply add a print chat, also a client print into the gas mask code. So, by the way, the gas mask code is in my code included with the infection bomb because it was just faster and it made more sense for me to do. We simply add, when somebody buys a gas mask, the option, like the statement, okay, X bought gas mask, and it protects him for 1 C-bomb, something like this. So we go simple by CP5 item select post. You can see you did bought a gas mask. It protects you 1 time against infection bomb. I'm gonna remove this text and just set CP colon print ID. And here we simply say, no, sorry, not ID, 0. And here we simply say, no, save it like this. I think this makes sense. Then we write here simple player name. Then we have to get the player name. In this case, it's ID. We can now we're creating a character array. In this case, a string. I mean, it's a set of characters. In player name. Let's make it 30 characters. Then get user name, ID, player name, chars max, player name. So now you can see it will print the player name and say he has bought a gas mask. He's now saved for 1 C-bomb. However, now we can already say edit information message when buying gas mask for all players. But it's not all, it's too easy. Let's make one feature on itself. Okay? Because now every time you have a gas mask, you have to rebuy it after you got 1 time hit by a C-bomb. My idea is that you somehow can activate auto buy for gas mask so that you all the time get the gas mask reboot. So let me think how we could do this in the smartest way. Let's make it with a command. I think this is the smartest approach for this case. cp colored print, in this case ID. You can set auto by do we do a space by gas mask. Set auto buy for gas mask automatically if you type in the chat. So let's start with a big yet so it looks better. So basically if a user buys gas mask, it says you can set auto buy for gas mask if you type in the chat /auto buy gas mask. However, no, you have to think again. What if somebody has enabled this? It would mean that this code gets all the time executed in theory, and this message would all the time spam get triggered. So we have also to add an exception if it's already enabled. Now we have to create a global variable, new have user auto buy gas mask 33 for 33 players, and it's set to false. Then we go client connect. Every time a client connect, because it's a new player, we have to set it false by default, and the same we do if somebody is leaving. We make client connected. Now you see there will be one warning less because we should use client connected. After each round start, yep, it should also be false. So basically what we're doing right now is, let's imagine a player sets the auto gas mask on true. Now if the player leaves, means this gets triggered, this, and we don't set it to false, and a new player connects because the ID are limited to 32, it's just the player slot, then the new player would also have auto buy without activating it. So we have to always make sure to always disable it. This is really important. So here we have set it to false. And now we make the command. Let's see here. Register client command. Register client command. I think it was /auto buy gas mask command auto buy gas mask. Let's make it like this. Was it /auto buy gas mask? Yep, you can see 2 of 7. So it was this. Let's place it here. Public ID if wait, on round start we should still save it, because otherwise the player would have every time to type this comment on each round start. This would be annoying, so we just reset it if the player is actually leaving. This code, everything inside this block, get executed when this command gets typed. And let's do it. If now we get the variable we just created, which is by default false, if have user auto buy gas mask ID is equal, this means equal, if it's equal, a comparison, and this is set to false. So basically if it's false, set it to true, and else if it's not false, because something can either be true or false, then it's set to false. But I'm just thinking, yeah, no, the command makes sense. And maybe we add a client print. Let's make cp colored print ID. You have enabled auto buy for gas mask. cp colored print ID. You have disabled auto buy for gas mask. Great. Now we have the functionality done of enabling and disabling. Now we have to make the actual functionality on itself. And how we can do this? It's pretty simple. We make it on the smart way. Or let me think. Do we just make a loop and trigger the loop each 5 seconds? This would be more performance intensive. Or do we just after somebody gets hit by a gas? Let's make when somebody gets hit by a gas mask. So we simple try to track now. has gas mask. When we set it to false, here you can see this message: your gas mask saved you from the infection and is now gone. You lost your gas mask. Yeah, I mean, at this point it should be clear for the player that the gas mask protected him. Here you can see, if this is, by the way, the function inside the infection bomb. So inside this while loop is every player which got hit by the C bomb. If has gas mask victim is true, set has gas mask to false, and inside this I'm thinking, yeah, we make this if have autobind victim is true, does that, either it's else. So if the victim, in this case the victim is the user, the human who has the gas mask, if he doesn't have a gas mask, just execute a normal code like it does already. And if he has the gas mask, we don't set the gas mask in false, means he still have it, but we print you lost your gas mask, but you lost your gas mask by enabled minus AMXX. We set here a int because we just print the AMXX of the gas mask, which is, let me see, item 2 cost, item 2 cost, and 10 we set the cp AMXX set id cp AMXX get id minus item 2 cost. Now there is one problem in this code. We set the AMXX minus 11, so the user believes it's got rebound. Theoretically it doesn't got rebound, but it appears like, because it's the same logic. It makes no sense to actually rebyte. And we say a message, but what if the user have auto gas mask true, but has less than 11 apps? In this case, we have to make another if statement, and, so if the user is true, has the gas mask, and the user apps is more or equal, sorry, victim. So if is more or equal 11 apps, then it executes this block. So even if the user has the auto by gas mask but doesn't have the 11 apps, the else block gets triggered. Means gas mask gets set to false. You lost your gas mask, continue. Now let me think logical. And if the user has true and has the apps, he will lose 11 apps because the gas mask got rebound, but he won't die and he will lose his gas mask, but he will still have it then. Okay, do we have here some bugs? I'm just thinking in previous already. I think not. You lost your gas mask. I think this is good. Compile, and we got errors. What are the errors? cp AMXX get, because we don't included it. You have always to include code if you reference it without something. So in this case, cp AMXX boom. By the way, don't get confused with the CPE. This means zombie play go endless. It's CP50, based on CP50. But what is ID? 401. Did I again wrote ID? This is just you know, you always type ID. You expect always to be ID. And boom, great. Now we take the code output. We place it on the server. Now we restart the server. And now we have to test it. It will probably work. And we can also write in our changelog added new command auto by gas mask, which auto buys automatic gas mask C bomb. Now we have first to test, okay, did our newest changes made the normal gas mask without the new function of auto buy, did it make it somehow broken? Because always when you add something new, it could break something, you never know. So let me make everybody zombie. you can set auto by gas mask. Okay, the new message, you can see it appears. And A has bought gas mask, he's now saved for 1 C-bomb. Look and see, I already see something we forgot. The message, he has bought a gas mask, he's now saved for 1 C-bomb, only gets triggered inside the select item, not when the gas mask it auto rebound it. So we have to include it also here. So CP5 item select post. Here this message. Then we G has gas mask. Here boom. And here we also include this. Yeah. And here we also need to get the name. So let's do it in this way. New player name. New compiled. So connecting now. So let's test first if the gas mask on itself is working. Yep, finally you lost your gas mask and it doesn't bout it again. You see, I lost my gas mask and everything works. Okay, now let's type auto buy underscore gas mask. You have enabled auto buy for gas mask. And see, I found a bug. If you don't have gas mask, so when you enable auto buy for gas mask, you need the gas mask so that the gas mask again auto buys. So if you have the gas mask and then you write auto buy gas mask, it re-gives you the gas mask, but if you don't have it at the first print but enable auto buy, it doesn't give you. See, I forgot this. That's why we do these tests. So we need basically do CP5 items select post, and basically this entire code comment auto buy gas mask if so, and here we check if the user has gas mask. If this is the case, so if the user has, then we execute and buy him the gas mask manually. But if this is not the case, so if it's true, we just do nothing and we return out of this function. And CP query is so, and here we check if he is a human. If he's not a human, then we right. Now I'm just asking has. Here you can see the round start, but you can see has gas mask. But here we also add if auto by gas mask is for the ID. In this case, we iterate touch each user ID. If it's true, and no, it's always false because he lost it. So if it's true, we simply say no, we just give it him. So where's the code again? Comment. It's pretty simple, it's not really that complicated. We just execute this and make this on event round start here, and then we just boom, done. Oh no, it was already on the correct level. Okay, here. That's by the way just syntax. But if have user gas mask and has gas mask ID is false. Oh, sorry, we check ID. This is stupid. Okay. No US, okay. But if we set it for everybody false here, why we would ever check if it's true? Oh, do you think this bind? This bind we shouldn't print if it's added by auto buy. This makes no sense, right? You can auto buy. This makes no sense. What do you mean? We just executed this command. This makes no sense. So we have to remove this, okay? Now, look, this event round start. I'm thinking because HLTV gets usually 2 times executed, not 1 time. We don't want to waste the ammo packs of the user 2 times. So basically we check if this code gets twice executed, because in my knowledge HLTV gets 2 times executed on one start. Has spawned a gas mask, but we didn't lost 11 HP. I CP ammo packs get I minus item 2 cost, boom, and if CP ammo packs get I is bigger or equal 11. We have this fixed, but here we also don't lose. That's the, and if CP ammo packs get ID is bigger or equal 11, if so, CP ammo packs set ID CP ammo packs get ID minus CP ammo item 2 cost. I just noticed we write 11, we should here write as well 11, because if we change this, we don't have to change this on the code, it's then changed everywhere at the same time. So we have not to go here in 11, replace this. Okay, so fuck, that's a bad. Okay, just let's make everybody a zombie slash auto buy gas mask. And you saw we lost the 8 ammo packs. I know the HUD is a bit small because of my high resolution, but you saw it and it says the message. And now let's test if we get hit by a C bomb, that if you lose the ammo packs, and if you lose on the one shot it just one time or twice, because if it twice then we have to add a check, which isn't that bad, but we just have to add a check which make it just execute one time on the round start, because default HLDV event trigger gets executed 2 times. So I'm walking around a bit. You lost your gas mask, rebuy enabled, 7 ammo packs. He's now saved for 1 C. So you saw it actually rebought, but let's get hit by second one, just to be 100% sure. And yep, here you see it. And now it got indeed just 1 time executed. Okay? You have gas mask, you protect for 1 round. Great! It worked. Great, it works exactly like I wanted. Exactly like I wanted to work. Fix it. Change it from set laser to plus use. No, people don't need to bind Lasermine. They can just buy it and press A. And let's say added some extra commands to buy Lasermine, which most people assume already exist. Okay, let's do these 2 things. Okay, and here on spawn. Great, okay, this is a great approach. So we just changed it on 0, right? We just have to change it on 0. Okay, then we don't have to do so many stuff. I think it should be already working actually. Okay, so let's test this and recreate the bug. It should be already fixed. I'm buying a Lasermine. I can plant it. Great. But when it's on use, how I stop to like how I can destroy it. On P, no, if I'm zombie, I can't, like wanted. And if I do this, great. But I can't, okay, we can take the Lasermine, this makes sense. I think this is acceptable. Or should be a zombie be able to... no, you shouldn't be able to take the laser because you are a zombie now. You're theoretically like a other entity in this world in quotation marks. So, so let's go del laser, stop return Lasermine, del laser, oh, sorry, this here, and if CP core is zombie ID. So if it's a human, no, sorry, if it's a zombie, then we return the same return mine ID, and here if CP core is zombie, we simply return 0. And we can take it. Great, that's exactly like I wanted, feels much better. Now let's check about other usual stuff. Like for example, do we have by Lasermine? What does that do? I gotta be honest, just remove this ugly message. Like we don't really have to. Okay, then let's make some comments. Okay, we have by Lasermine. Then we have say LM by Lasermine chat. Okay, register say laser. Just when we say laser, this should get as well triggered. I don't want to type this all over again. LM, and then maybe we make even a variation of just laser, oops, and LM. I don't know why we would need this. We just set here, set task, I would say every 90 seconds, Lasermine information, just random as number, B means for infinity times get this card. If you want the task, for example, to get, I don't know, 10 times card, then you can write it like this. I put it pretty much at the top because it's just a shortcode. CP colored print ID 0. You can set laser default E. You can remove laser by the way, this operator says the compiler to ignore this, otherwise it believes it's inside a string. By bind p plus del laser. So this message gets printed out, let's say, I think every 90 seconds is okay, and then we have this command script. So we have already made the possibility to buy laser not only from the menu but in general much easier. And we made it also easier to plant. Added a tutorial message every 200 seconds for new players, how to set laser and del laser. No, I write delete on purpose so the people understand that we actually mean delete and not del, because maybe they are like, what is del? Okay, so we have pretty much did everything. I almost forget it. Oh my god, I almost forget it. By the way, we got some errors. Let's line 146. What did I have done wrong? Ah, we compile this basically. Ah, nah, I have an idea. Not an idea. You can see it does client print and it's ugly. The message is just orange, it's ugly. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just ugly in my opinion. And you can see what if I'm thinking. We have here client print. One thing I just have to CP color. Okay, it seems like so we're gonna take this part because I don't want to replace everything. No. This part is always same as you can see. Now if we take this and replace it just with CP colorant print, open it. No, let me think. CP colorant print, open it. ID without the space and just hit replace. It should work. Client print, CP colorant print. Let's just in case. Boom. And now the message should appear much more beautiful. But one thing, here Lasermine debug. We don't want to have a chat tag. Do you see the chat tag? We don't want to have this chat tag. We want to have just that it says the zombie playground because, I don't know, it looks ugly. So we have to delete this. I'm just thinking. Yep. So we delete this part of the code and replace it simply with nothing. Boom. Oh. That didn't work so well. We need to go this part, yeah. And this we have to replace with just this. Okay, this should have worked. So you can see Zombie Playground Endless looks much more beautiful, much more modern. Okay, let me check the commands real quick. Lasermine. Say laser. I don't. Okay, I just did laser. Boom, I bought laser. Maybe /lm. Boom, I also bought here laser. Great. And I can plant it. Woo! The Lasermine message is actually okay. So let's go to T-Virus. So there is one problem which the T-Virus I can you show, but let me show you something. What I mean. So I made a bot like in Cleo style. I made the bots AFK. Now imagine, okay, imagine this is a human, and imagine he's inside a base, and he has set it laser. Okay, let me show you. Here, boom. Imagine he's like here in a base and I'm behind him and I just do that. I think you get what I mean. I can just go behind him and kill him with T-Virus. I don't have to buy C-Bomb. I don't have to buy anything to come inside base. I can just come and he can just appear behind him. Like this is really easy to abuse. So what is the solution to this problem? It's simple. We make a radius. A radius basically like a circle around somebody. If it is around a radius of, let's say for example 1500, he can't buy T-Virus. And I would even say we make it like CM not available. Yep. So it appears like EF. Now here we come to a point. I'm a developer. I know how to code. I made really complex systems, but I don't know how I can search because I just don't remember how this fucking function is called. So what you're gonna do, you type AMXX-PAWN API, you go here and you just think Think radius, it's a spare, something which is spare. Search for an entity inside a spare. Okay? And if you're still not sure, you can just take it and write cs1 AMX, find entity in spare. And here you can already see find entity in spare, entity, origin, and 50. So you can see, okay, engine, so we have to include the engine for this. And we can do this by just typing include engine. That's it. Then you go here. If you're not sure, you just go here, get user origin, and you can see current position, eyes, and so on. So in our use case, I just take this here, client index, array to start the origin. I'm being pretty self-explainable. So I just take it like this. The index is in this case ID. The origin, remove the extra thing. Yes, we have it. So to here, find entity in spare. Start from entity. In this case, it's -1. Oh, you know what? I forgot we need to create a variable because otherwise we cannot reference the ID. We have already ID, right? Okay, then let's just call it entity because it makes sense in this context. So we have just here entity with, then we take here the origin, and the radius is, I think, I don't know, let me think, 2000. If you don't want to have a compiler, just add like a 0.0 because then it's a float. Okay, so what we basically doing is simple. We do entity. If entity is equal to ID, means if we are the entity, then we continue because we don't. If the entity is a zombie, CP core is zombie entity, then we ignore it too because it's a zombie. We just care if somebody goes behind a human and does that. If I mean, if it's a zombie, look, by the way, if you check if CP core is zombie, you don't have to check for nemesis and assassin because nemesis and assassin is also a zombie. But if you just want to be like additional sure, like you just want to type it, you can also add it in the checks. Like, why not? It won't hurt so much. I mean, nowadays performance is not anymore matter. So if it's entity, we continue. If it's a human, because if it's a, like, if it's not a zombie, not nemesis, not assassin, it can be just a human. So we just make it here like this. New human count 0, and we just add a human. This means it always, this line gets executed, the human count goes by 1 inside this radius. And then we check if human count is bigger than 0, return CP item not available. And then this entire code we did, as you can see here, it's a little bit long, as you can see. Let's remove it here, but we make a function which is called check if human, check t values human on radius. I'm the best when it comes to name, Kappa Klaus. And then I don't know the key, how to go one line down. So I just go like this, and then we simply return human count. This means basically that when we calling this function, it returns this value. If it's either 0 or 1 or something, more we don't have to do. And now since it returns this, we can just do check if unit check t-reverse human on radius, and this will then later get replaced by the value which get returned here. Well, this was a wrong code, lol. Sorry, wrong line, I almost fucked up. So if this is bigger than 0, then don't show this code. And now we compile it, and now we will get errors. 58. What is the problem here? Okay, so we have to type here ID for enter the ID, and here we're expecting an ID. 2 errors. Now we have from 4 errors, just 2 left. Line 37. This line. Why this line? Oh, and I was going again in the wrong line. You see how much? Oh my god. This is such typical when you code so long. So I'm compiling it now. Okay, this is obviously not working because we want that the t-reverse is not available. That's bad. That's really bad. How we can debug it? It doesn't work. One possible way is, usually most, when you look at this, they use fake meta path instead of get user origin. ID is valid. Yes, ID is the correct one. Yes, it's the correct one. So we can add origins. Let's boom. Let's take this. Oh, I'm too lazy not to type it. Okay, so we can then, okay, I get it. So we can then move as a player, and we keep buying it so we can see if the changes accordingly updated. If this is not the case, let me think of something different. Entity. Print out entity. And then we just add here a number. Like this. And then we add it here. Entity. Human count. So to see if it's actually not because of this. So if it's, so here we can see, okay, you know what, I'm not yapping so much, let's just try and debugging it. And here you can see it returns 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So that was the problem all the time. That's how debugging works. Now we have the information, okay, this is fine, this will work. No, this will definitively work. Like, that's not even a question, to be honest. So, okay, the origin is wrong. Why is the origin is wrong? So, and on get so when you use engine in, we can look at the constants to use to know in which we have, like, you can see IK. This means basically like a key, like something. It's probably a enum. Okay, it's an enum. You can see, and based on what it knows. Okay, you wanna get the velocity. You wanna get the angles, and you get the idea what I mean. So you have basically to tell it, okay, we want to get this, and then you have here to enter the variable where you want to store the results. Means this get replaced with this I index, that's in this case ID, and then you go to, because you can't remember this, nobody needs, you go here basically, and it's actually even the 0, and you can either write it like this or like this. It's exactly the same. I write it just like this, so to make it more clear. And then we're taking this origin here, boom, and now it should work. Already see? Okay, I can already see it works. It's not available. Woohoo! So you can see the T-virus. It's not available. Is it here available? Nope. Is it here available? Nope. Okay. Okay, we can buy it here. And at this position we can't anymore. I think it honestly a little bit too less. So I think honestly we could even increase it again. Like 500. But I think this is really enough. And look, we have this little nice additional check. This is when we select pre. But when we select post, I would also make a test like this. If this is bigger than this, we return. We give it the AMXX back like in the OTA checks. And we'll simply say CP colored print. You cannot buy T-virus when you're too close to humans. Boom. What did I make wrong? Let me see. Ah, sorry. Like this. Okay, great. Boom, we have it. Now we can close it, and that's basically what we did here again in a list. That's all what we did on this video. You can see it's not a big update. I work it like, I don't know, I think without the edits, I think it's 2 hours I made some small breaks because if you look at this time, I did some small breaks because it was New Year, as you can see. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Leave me some suggestions if you want something different to see. And see you next time.